if I had a dollar for every time in life that I have emphasized the importance of pattern recognition to people, I would be fairly wealthy. Let's put it that way. I'm going to give you an example now. This is also an example of people totally missing what's right in front of them. Isn't it interesting that basically through the second half of 2024, Donald Trump and the Trump family, they built out World Liberty Financial. They built out their own, crypto mining operations and things like that. Then in 2025, we saw rules changes take place with financial institutions, which is what's known as the Basel III Endgame, which is deregulation, decentralization, etc., right? And then all of a sudden you see 2026 rolls in and it is popping in a way that it has not been popping in a long time in terms of what we are doing militarily, geopolitically, etc. Okay? Isn't it interesting that none of this was happening in the first term? These aren't new problems. None of this was happening in the first term. None of this was happening when Biden was in. What's happening right now, geopolitically with the U.S.? And then all of a sudden it happened. After Trump family built out World Liberty Financial. After all these financial institutional rules changed. Reduction in capital threshold was another big deal with this. And isn't it just interesting how that all happened? And then immediately, right? Immediately, this year, it's been belt to ass, feet on necks. You know what I mean? It's just something to think about. Everybody is terrified, and I understand, okay? Because you're not giving complete information. But people are terrified of the quote unquote, air quotes, collapse of the dollar. The bad news is the dollar collapsed a long time ago, in a real sense. The good news is there are people at the helm now who know how to navigate the end game of that and transition to the next system and transition to a system that is going to work much better versus the car just careening off the cliff at some point, right? So bad news, good news. I just think it's interesting. The timing of things. 2024, 2025, 2026, boom. Putin's right, by the way, and Putin's been right about just damn about everything, to be honest with you. From saying it doesn't matter who the president is because they all get there and meet the men in black, down to saying that ultimately what is going to happen is that the U.S. debt will be tokenized. Think of it as a soft landing bankruptcy versus a hard landing bankruptcy. You don't have to like somebody to acknowledge, greatness in some aspect of life, right? You don't have to like Michael Jordan to understand how great he was. Like him or not, some of these guys are real, actual geniuses. Like a lot of people behind the scenes. And oh yes, this is a takeover. This is a hostile takeover. Yes, absolutely. it's also what was described in the first inauguration in 2017. This is returning power to the people. Decentralization, deregulation, and so forth. And the future's bright. I believe that. So that's my message. In the meantime and in between time, stay sane and safe. Be good to yourselves and each other. If it's not too much trouble, love somebody today. Before I hop out of here, I'll just say this. It's going to be interesting going forward, so buckle up. All right. I'll see y'all around, as always, Lord willing.